welcome to the fourth episode of I'm Possible series. This series is basically with one intent, that when life is giving us roses, we have people around, we have positivity around, we have solution around. But when life is throwing challenges at us, then we are isolated, we are alone. In fact, in those times, there's nobody to support us. And then we make our belief systems about our life, about ourselves, which further cages us into further pain and further challenges. So this episode and the previous episode and all the episodes to come are some kind of a solution in those stuck stage, wherein you don't see any breakthroughs, you don't see any answers. So I request each one of you to watch these series with an empty cup mind. That means don't judge the series, don't be prejudiced about it. Just take and absorb as things are coming to you, because this is my life lessons that I'm sharing with you. And if it aligns with your needs, I'll be so happy. But if it doesn't, anyways, it was good that we are, talking and interacting. So all my patrons who have been watching the episodes right from episode 1 to episode 3, thank you so much for being there. And for all the first timers, I request each one of you to go to the link below. All the 3 episode links are there. And please do watch all the previous episodes too. Though they are not interconnected, don't worry. You can watch this episode in absolute, silos, no worries. But then every episode has a story. Every episode has a nugget, an insight to share with you. So once again, God bless you all, and take these learnings as a small gift from my end to you, and may we all march towards the finish line with a lot of courage and with a lot of zest. Right? Thank you. So Audrey Hepburn said that there's nothing called impossible. In the word impossible is the word I'm possible. All right. So with this, let us start with our mind map and see for ourselves what we have for today. And today's theme is all about awareness. It's so important to be aware of your situation, aware of the decision you're making, aware of what you're thinking, aware of, people who are around you. What are they thinking? What is their decision making? It is just not me, myself, and I. It is more about, let myself be a little away, and let me just go external and find out exactly what's happening and why it's happening. And then also come inside you, internal, and find out what's going inside your mind. Is there any fear towards a situation? Is there a doubt towards a situation? Is there something that those past experience which are really bothering you and they are now conflicting with your idea of finding solution? Oh, this could be a connection that your mind is going through, and you will be surprised that how many algorithms your mind has gone through. But in all those algorithms, you have to understand one thing, and that is to be aware and not get carried away by the confusion. All right? Because awareness can bring a lot of insight. I've already shared the intro, and we've already talked about Audrey Hepburn. She was an American actress, and basically she was very powerful in saying this, because this has become a fad now. I'm possible. All right, so we are going to talk about awareness, and today I have a story to tell to you. So there was this hermit who was sitting on a bench, all right, and the hermit was like begging day in, day out for years and years and years. Now what happens when you do something and you keep on doing something, and the result is that you have to keep on looking at people and finding out how they can support you. Somewhere you get inside a cocoon and feel that exactly what is your worth. What is it that you are really valuable to, or Who do you really mean something for? Well, a lot of these self-esteem questions can start coming in, and so it came in the hermit's mind. And he said, what am I doing here? What is my value? Nobody even watches me. Forget it. Nobody cares about me. I have to keep on asking for everyday food. And it is so humiliating. And because I'm a hermit, I can't do any job. I can't do anything. And he was like completely down and out. One day he was like, let me just give up everything and let me, go back home. And I don't even know whether my home people will accept me anymore. Because it's such a confusion for a mind like this, isn't it? Well, in this, I would, he had his master who he would consult with. And in this, he said, hey, master, what do you suggest? What should I do? Should I give up? Or should I go on? The master said, hey, just hold on. Why don't you do something? You were looking for something valuable, right? Something that will help your self-esteem. And I'm sure wealth and riches will give you a slight relief right now. Yes or no? I said, of course. If I can get more money, I can at least not beg for the next 10 days. So the master said, fine. Why don't you do something? Why don't you just get up from the bench and look what's under the bench? And when he looked under the bench, he saw some precious gems and some precious stones out there. He was sitting on it all the while, and he was not even aware about it. My dear friends, world will say what we are not. World will say that, you can't. World will say it's not possible for you. As simple. But you have to deep dive within yourself and find out gems and nuggets and stones and precious little things that will help you to really have your esteem high, will help you to have your confidence high, and will help you to align to your purpose of why you are on this planet, to help you to align with the goal that you've thought of for the year 2022. My dear friends, do not give up on yourself. When the situation is so bad that you just want to despair and you want to give away, go and ask for help. Go and ask the support from a master. And I'm sure the master will come up with some wisdom. Okay? So just hold on. Don't think much. And just be in that awareness zone. Because the treasure all lies within you. Okay? I'm not saying it from a very platonic point of view, but from an actual point of view. Because when I look at my blessings more, when I look at what I have than what I don't have more, I was in a wonderful place, in a more joyous place, and I could take challenges and problems in my stride. I didn't really sit down or get heavy because of it. All right, so this is just a small story. I hope it will be of value to you. So what kind of a mindset should an aware person have? All right. So there is a formula that I've created. It's called heightened awareness minus reality equals to perception. You know what? We become quite aware of a lot of things as we grow old, or as we start becoming aware of people or of their intention, of situation and the consequences of the situation. We start wondering, okay, what is it that is, this person is thinking, or this situation is going to bring. But we are doing it from our mind map, our mental map. And when we do it from our mental map, there is something called the perception. Because I'm perceiving from my mind to whatever is in front of me. And my perception can be it can be away from reality long, kilometers away, I would say. So how do I build that bridge and bring the reality and my perception closer, so that when I make some decision, when I make some solutions about a certain problems of life, I am in a better position to be successful. All right. So for this, I have come up with a certain skill set, and that skill set is called ask clarifying questions. You always have an unfriendly approach. Now, ask clarifying question to this sentence. You always have an unfriendly approach. Somebody comes to you and somebody just puts it on you and say you're so unfriendly. Everything you do is, your approach is unfriendly. You do not gel with the team. You do not gel with anything that is going around you. You're always living in your own world. What is this? Now, this can be very, very trying, because how many ever times you want to give the reason and the explanation and whatever you want to share in your context, it's going to be taken in no good. So what do? You ask clarifying questions like, what do you mean by it? What do you mean by unfriendly approach? Ask questions. That's the best way to get answers. And when you get answers, you're getting information. And when you get information, you are processing it. And when you are processing it, you'll be nearer to your reality. And you will make some real good decision, some good perspective as you go on. Okay? Can you give me an example of what I did that you came up with the conclusion that I'm unfriendly and I have an approach which is unfriendly? How does that impact you? Wow. How does that impact you? Means, what does it do to impact you? Please tell me. Is it bothering you? Is it irritating you? Please share. How should it impact me if I'm unfriendly? What do I lose? What do I not gain? What are the improvement points? Okay, if I'm having an unfriendly approach, what do you think I should do to become more friendly? As simple as that. Clarifying question. Everything is around it. Why is it important to you that I have a friendly approach? Okay, so you come to understand the person's intention, the person's inner reason for you to give you such a harsh feedback. And when they give you this harsh feedback, you don't go, oh no, I do as much as I can, yet people take me wrong. And though I am putting my life, my blood, my sweat all in the game, nobody is happy with me. And you can keep on going on and on and on. And I'm telling you, nobody's going to listen to you. Forget the solution. You will be further said that you have a very unfriendly approach. And that's not the label you want, right? So ask questions, because your mental map should understand their mental map. And when you ask questions, their mental map, which could be a perception away from reality, can become closer to reality as you clarify those questions with the answers. Are you with me on this? Does it really make sense to you? Ask powerful clarifying questions, and you are going to be in so much of awareness state and so much in the making of right decision, right knowledge of things, right approach towards things. You would not believe it, like you will be a go-to person for anything that comes up in anybody's life from now on. Do this and you are going to be powerful. Okay? Now with the skill set, you have something called the HR principles. HR principles is nothing but human relation principles. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, a book written by Dale Carnegie. There's something called the golden principles, which I have. In fact, my mentor, Operesh Acharya, used to call it the HR principle, the human relation principle. And there are about 30 of these golden principles, and I'll be taking one from that book. And today what I've taken is make a man save his face. So when you are asking a clarifying question, always ask in a gentle tone. Don't ask in an aggressive tone. Don't say, you see, that is why I've asked this question. You see your problem now? Don't be sarcastic, because everybody is speaking from their own idea of the world. And when they have their own meanings, own idea, then who is wrong? Nobody is wrong. So I request each one of you to be gentle when you are in such a sensitive position and vulnerable position where you are being attacked, but you kind of counterattack it by being humble, by being approachable, but being assertive enough and ask those clarifying questions so that the other person can know how wrong or right he was or he is, whatever. Okay, so make a man save his face. Let him feel his esteem not being questioned. Let him not feel feel cornered. Let him not feel okay, I should not say next time this. Keep that man's face saved. Encourage that person. Make sure that the coping skills are there, and then you move ahead. All right, super. So what is the actionable that you need to do? I'm going to give you one sentence. What you need to do is, in your dedicated notebook, write down, okay, first let me give the sentence. Your presentation in the meeting was terrible. That is this case study. That is the sentence which I'm sharing to you. Your presentation was horrible, terrible. I don't know how come, such a senior person, how come you could do such a mistake? And your actionable is, write down 10 clarifying questions around it and get the practice of it. All right. So with this, I hope you have enjoyed the entire journey of today. The theme is awareness, and basically we are talking about how you can be present in the moment and ask some powerful question to get clarity or in ambiguous statements or directed statements, statements which are made to victimize you, which are made to make you feel small. Because as soon as you kind of become powerful, you are able to make the best decision, best judgment. You are able to do your best and really play the game of life in the most amazing manner. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you loved it. And if you have, please hit a like and of course hit the bell icon, because I want many subscribers to go through these episodes so that we all can be empowered, we all can be tough, because when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And for this, I request each one of you to put your comments in the section below so that I can interact with you. That's the only way to be in touch with you. And those who feel this should be shared with your family member, with your neighbors, with your community, please hit the share button without any doubt. All right, because you will be helping a lot of people in this process. So do some good karma, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.